Hey, friends, Stephen Michael Miller here today with your morning momentum. I'm so glad to be here with you this morning. And, I've been thinking a lot, thinking about going forward and going after your success, getting after what it is that you really want, and some of the things that hold us back at times. And, oftentimes we get to a place where we've been trying, we've been working, and we kind of get down on ourselves. I don't know if you've ever experienced this before. I'm sure you have. We all probably have, where you're getting after your goal, you're going after it with as much as you possibly can, and you're just not quite getting there yet. It's at those moments where sometimes you feel like you want to give up, like you want to quit. And, oftentimes we would never be blamed by anybody around us if we did. We've given a massive effort. We've put, for a moment anyway, our all into it. And then sometimes circumstances come up that make us want to take a look at it and say, man, do I really want to do this? I mean, is this really what I want? I know I set this goal, but do I really want to get after it and accomplish it? I actually had some of that feeling this morning. I was up really late last night with some of my kids and with my wife, and we're doing some Christmas shopping and some different things, and we were up pretty late. I mean, I think I probably didn't get to bed till about 2 a.m., maybe 2:30 or so. And actually, it's probably closer to 2:30 or 3. Anyway, I went to bed late, and I had some buddies that I go to the gym and meet, and we often will, do some great workouts with each other in the mornings. I usually like to meet around 6 a.m. And this morning, I didn't set my alarm clock when I went to bed, and all of a sudden, my phone chimes. And I had a text message from one of the guys saying, "Hey, I'm on my way. I'm going to be late." And as I looked at that phone, I'll tell you, every thought and excuse of what I could say to not go went through my mind. Literally, I mean, I picked up my phone and I'm about to text, slept, didn't get to sleep till really late last night. I'm sitting there, didn't get to sleep till really late last night. Sorry, guys, I can't make it. And I had written something like that, or like, I'm not going to be able to make it, or I won't be there today. And I was about to hit send, and something inside of me I couldn't hit send. And it was really good. I got up out of bed. I erased that text. I put it in my phone. I was like, I'm on my way, and got ready real quick, as quick as I can. Got to the gym, and had a great workout this morning. I ended up I ran about 4 miles, and a little, and it was great. Feel so much better having done that. Than if I hadn't done it. And so these things come up all the time where we have excuses, and sometimes these excuses are even legitimate excuses for us to maybe choose out of something that we want more. See, the reality is I want to be healthy more than I don't want to be healthy. At least that was the decision I made this morning. I don't always make that decision. But this morning I wanted to be healthy more. And because I wanted to be healthy more, even when the obstacle came up, even when I didn't get very much sleep, and I could have easily just not gone in, I decided in that moment that that's truly what I wanted. And sometimes I think we don't give ourselves the opportunity enough. We actually don't give ourselves the chance to make that decision. We fall back into old patterns. And usually those old patterns look like giving up and quitting, right? They look like stopping before we actually reach it. But if we can put in our minds, give ourselves time to pause and to think about what we really, really want, the reality is we will accomplish and achieve so much more. Because what we want is typically greater than the momentary satisfaction or the momentary, relief from some of that pain that we might otherwise have to experience. I mean, it's not easy to get up in the morning, especially when you've had a very little sleep, and go to the gym. And, I'm not the only one that does this. You've all done this in your lives at different times. So you've all had emergencies or different things come up where you've put all of your energy and all your focus and all of your effort into that thing. I want you to think for a second in your life when there was a true emergency that came up for you. Because it's interesting, we act in emergencies the way that honestly we should act throughout our entire life. We can act throughout our entire life, and if we do, we'll actually experience greater success. Think about it. The last emergency that you went through, the last kind of big thing that came up where it was all hands on deck. Do you remember what that was? Do you remember how you acted? Were you more focused? Were you kind of, was it all or nothing? I mean, were you giving all of your time, your effort? Were you acting a little bit differently than you would have otherwise because you were in kind of that emergency situation? Well, I just want to propose, and I want you to think about this for a second, that every day is an emergency. Every day there are people that need our help. Every day there's growth that can happen. And the more you put it off, the less you'll be able to serve, the less you'll be able to grow. The more you put that off, the less you'll accomplish those things that you really, really want to accomplish. And some of those dreams are huge. And some of those dreams, most of those dreams that are huge, aren't just about you. They're about so many other people and blessing the lives of all who you come in contact with. Right. So the more we put off doing those things that we know that we should do, the more that we succumb to our weakness sometimes, and our circumstance, the less we will grow and the less we will accomplish. So if you ever get to that point and when those things come up, just do it anyway. If you get to that point and you're feeling discouraged, just do it anyway. Just blow past that. Like, make the decision now. This is one of those things, I try to teach my kids. I hope that my children will make the best decisions for them throughout their lives. I hope that they will choose to, stay away from drugs and other things that could be harmful to them, that they'll stay out of situations that could really negatively affect their lives and their future, and that they'll avoid those things. That's my hope and my wish, and I try to get after. I try to teach them as much as I possibly can to do those things. But the reality is when we're setting out after our goals and we're trying to accomplish things, if we don't do it, nobody else will. I actually had a friend that came to me. Actually, a friend that uh, told me a quote yesterday, and he was kind of doing a little training, and this quote really, it kind of impacted me. What he said was something to the effect of, and I'm not going to quote it exactly, but something to the effect of, "You didn't come this far just to come this far." Right. So as you're putting in this work to accomplish whatever your goal might be, and you're maybe getting discouraged because you're not there yet, think back to all of the work that you put in. Because the reality is you didn't do all that work just for the sake of doing all that work, right? You did all that work to get yourself to a position so that you could continue doing that work and eventually achieve or accomplish something, to get somewhere. That would be like, if my goal, I live in, I'm here in Utah, and if my goal was to drive from Utah over to West Virginia, or to New York, let's say, and I'm driving from Utah to New York, that would be like me going all the way to, let's say, like, Ohio. And when I get in Ohio, I say, man, this driving thing is kind of difficult. I don't know if I can do this. I probably should just go back. Right? I didn't drive all the way out to Ohio just to get to Ohio. My goal was actually to get to New York. And look how far I've come. See, oftentimes we get to this position where this is our goal, and we're going, 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 and we get here, and we get fearful, or we get upset with, not reaching there yet. We haven't gotten all the way, and so we put ourselves down, or we tell ourselves that we're not good enough, or we think to ourselves, well, this will never work, and so I just might as well quit. When the reality is we're so close. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, which I talk about often, I love that book. He talks about a story that's called 3 Feet from Gold. And 3 Feet from Gold is a wonderful story. If you've never read it, I'll kind of just give you the Cliff Notes version. But there was a guy who during the gold rush time, he bought a whole bunch of equipment, and he went out to start prospecting and kind of try his luck and mine for gold. And he bought this mine, or found this mine, and started digging for gold. He started finding quite a bit. He found some really good gold, and he was following this one vein of gold, and all of a sudden it stopped. It dried up. And he dug and he dug and he dug and he dug, and he got all as much, he wouldn't, and he just kept on going, thinking, man, I had this vein. I caught this vein. I believe there's got to be more in here, but man, he couldn't find it. And so he kept on digging and kept on digging. And finally, he decided to quit. He dug as much as he could. Some of his funding or whatever was running out. He needed money. And so he decided he was going to quit and sell all of his equipment. So he did. Sold all of his equipment to this individual. And this guy didn't know anything about mining, but he knew that there were people who did. And so this individual, he hired a engineer. He hired someone who knows uh, the way that gold mines and gold veins typically move and travel, and he hired these experts to come in and survey the property, survey the mine, and see if they could figure out where to pick up digging, or where that vein might have gone, or if there was anything there. And in that research, they found they picked up the vein, and actually the vein was only 3 feet away from where the last gentleman, the previous gentleman, had stopped digging. Only 3 feet away, and it ended up being like this massive, massive vein of gold. So I think that obviously the moral to the story is we're always just a little bit close, a little bit further away, or a little closer than we probably think. We're a lot closer than we probably think. We're not that far away. We may only be 3 feet away from accomplishing whatever it is that we want to accomplish. And if you think about that, man, I'm only 3 feet away from this. I'm only a little bit more effort away from this. Well, everyone can give it a little bit more effort. Everybody can, no matter what it is. You can always give just a little bit more effort. And if you kind of start thinking that way, then again, you'll start accomplishing more. So whenever those roadblocks come up and tell you, hey, you can't do it, or you should probably stop, you should probably just quit, just do it anyway. Just do it anyway, and you'll find that you'll achieve greater success. You'll never be sorry for pushing through and doing it anyway. You may be sorry though if you quit just 3 feet from gold. If you quit just inches away from achieving your goal, that is something that may be a little bit regrettable. But so you start getting those feelings, just do it anyway. Friends, thank you so much for joining me for this morning's Morning Momentum. My name is Stephen Michael Miller. So glad to have you with me. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you here. Click the bell to get notified. And if you have any comments about experiences that you've had as you've gone after your goals, where you've just kind of plowed through and done it anyway, I'd love to hear about those in the comments below. Thank you so much. Have an awesome, awesome morning. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.